So I kind of wanted to give you an idea of kind of how this all started. We bought a house and the basement was pretty much unused. There were some things left behind by the last occupants. So, all of that stuff kind of needed to go and to be removed. At first, the goal, was just to clean it up. Maybe use it for storage, or maybe eventually, have a game room or a TV room or something like that. But then we decided that we wanted some more living space. So unfortunately, all I have are photos of this process. As I continue, I will record the future progress so you all can see it. So we drew up a plan and started to put that plan into motion. And to make things even more difficult, we really wanted this to be what we call a zero debt project. So we didn't take out any loans or use any credit cards. Everything was paid for in cash. So we started the demo process. We removed the old paneling and the ceiling, which was probably installed in the mid-80s, I'm guessing. There was lots of cleaning to do, but it allowed me to kind of start planning for the new electrical and to figure out how things were ran, including water and drain lines. I added a subfloor really for two main reasons. One, concrete gets pretty cold, and two, if the basement ever leaked or were to take on some water, that water would have to rise 2 inches or so to reach the finished floor. So there is a sump pump down there in the basement, and the water is channeled to it. But soon we were ready to start the framing up the walls. Truth be told, I am not a house builder. I used many different resources so I could learn about this trade and to be more self-sufficient. The walls went up pretty fast and I was ready to move on to the electrical. Then I got a crazy idea. Why not have our lights and some outlets be powered by the sun? So that is what we did. I added some more powerful panels and away we went. We hope in the future to expand that to some of the main floor lights and outlets. I researched what the electrical codes were in my area and we started pulling wire, and after planning out the light and outlet locations, we were hooking everything up. I used all LED lights that were bright but also low wattage. I will do a video on how I calculated for my panel battery needs. It was now time to start the first bedroom, and the first job was replacing this window. It was a pain. It was built into the wall, so with a grinder and crowbar and several other tools, I removed what I could and I found a window that I could get to fit. Then of course, now it's time for drywall. Putting up the drywall is pretty easy for me, but finishing it was not so easy. I probably watched 20 how-to videos and everybody did it differently. So I used the way that was easy for me and I got pretty good results. After a coat of primer and paint and trimming out that window, I was ready to install the ceiling. So for the ceiling, I used 1x6 tongue and groove boards that I had stained. I started at one end of the room and basically just worked my way to the other side. I staggered the planks so it's almost like wood flooring but on the ceiling. It gave it a rustic look, and that was what I was going for. I installed the lights and started working on the trim work. For the trim, I tried a few different styles, but I didn't really like them. I ended up taking some baseboard trim, flipping it upside down so the thicker end is facing the ceiling. It worked out great, and it gave me the simple look that I was after. For flooring, I used vinyl plank flooring. I had used it in the past and really liked it. It's the kind that kind of clicks together. Most people call it like a floating floor. It was easy to install, and really it went down pretty quickly. For the baseboards, I used basically just 1x6 pine boards. I did use a router and just kind of make a small profile on the edge. And then for the door jambs, I just used 1x4s. There was a small bathroom in the basement already. I wouldn't call it super usable, but the sink and toilet worked. The shower area looked like it was taken from an RV or camper, and it just wasn't going to work for us, so this bathroom needed to be gutted. I moved the existing water lines and added shut-off valves just for some extra safety. I also moved the existing light, and I added a light and installed a light in the shower just to make sure it wasn't too dark. I installed the same ceiling in the bathroom, except I did put on 2 coats of polyurethane after staining the boards. I also installed a 34x60 fiberglass shower pan just to kind of make it more of a standard shower area. I installed the drywall after re-insulating the whole bathroom, but then I had another idea. What if we used metal for the shower surround? Challenge accepted. So off to the home store I went with somewhat of a plan. So I used flashing for the corners, and I bought a sheet of flat metal for around the shower valve. I watched a few people do this, and they used construction adhesive like liquid nail. That didn't work for me. So I just used the standard screws, that have the washer on them that are used when you're putting this, metal as, like a roof material. I used clear caulk around the bottom and top and on all the seams. For my first try, I don't know, I think it turned out pretty good. I installed the same flooring and also built a step to kind of make it easier and safer to get in and out of the shower. The next thing was building a door, which I did all out of pine. I'll have to make a few more, so hopefully I can get some video of that. I stained it and just applied 1 coat of polyurethane. So next up was a vanity. I could not find one the size I needed, so I just made one. I wanted to keep the metal theme going, so I added that same material to the doors. For the top, I wanted to try my hand at an epoxy finish. It wasn't perfect, but I learned a lot about the process, and I hope to do more epoxy projects in the future. So last but not least was installing a sink, faucet, and toilet. Overall, I'm happy with the end result. So this has been the remodel journey so far. Is it perfect? No, it's not. But I've gained knowledge and skill, and it leads me down the path of being more self-sufficient. There's still more work to do. Subscribe to see the finished product and how I got there.